Have y'all heard of squatters? Have y'all heard of squatters? So squatters is a new thing that's been happening throughout the United States, where pretty much people have been signing fake leases or fake um, mortgages and moving into the house that they have the fake lease under. And they pretty much have been able to live there for free without paying, and they're not being evicted because they have squatter rights. And what's going on in New York or out throughout the world is that people are starting to become afraid that the migrants might take take these squatter rights and use them for themselves. Let's tune into the video and see what's going on with this.
And this is actually a similar thing we're going to talk about now. It's a nightmare scenario. And this is actually a similar thing we're going to talk about now. It's a nightmare scenario because one handyman turned squatter hunter is warning that migrants may soon catch on to squatters' rights in blue cities. So for those at home who are wondering what squatters' rights mean, dictionary.com says it's, quote, a claim to real property that may be granted to a person who has openly possessed and continuously occupied it without legal authority for a prescribed period of years. Joining us now, United Handyman Association.
So y'all see what squatters are. Y'all see what the meaning of a squatter is. This is exactly what they're saying the migrants are going to start doing to people. This is crazy, y'all.
And squatterhunters.com founder Flash Shelton. Flash, it's great to have you on the program. And this is a really scary prospect that essentially people who are breaking the law have laws that protect them. What kind of world are we living in here?
Yeah, it's crazy. And, you know, I think it's important to say that regardless of where you sit politically or morally, this is affecting all of us.
Yeah, I mean, on that note, talk to us about how you see change coming. What are policies, the number one policy that you see that could change to help sort of ease the burden of these squatter rights, if you will?
I think that, you know, the most important thing is that we just need to criminalize squatting in residential maintained properties. The laws originally were undesignated land by government, and it's been ignored and kind of interpreted in a different way. I think if we criminalize, you know, no squatting in residential maintained properties, that's going to solve a lot of these issues, and send it to criminal court and let law enforcement act.
Why should I say I'm a property owner and squatters come into my property? I've got to take this to court. I've got to get a lawyer. It's a very long fight when you're dealing with a situation like this. It's costly, it's time consuming, it's stressful. Why should the good citizen that is living in the country and doing what they're supposed to do, why should they even have to deal with this at all?
They shouldn't have to deal with it. Honestly, this should not be a thing at all. If you own a house and somebody's living in it illegally, there's no reason that this person should not be evicted immediately by the police. And there's no reason that this person should be living in your house free, breaking into your house free. And then there's actually laws to prevent them from being put on the streets. No, they're homeless. They should not be in this house. Get them out. Get them out.
You know, and the truth is they shouldn't. It's just it. You know, it's just there's no common sense in it at all. You should have more rights. Unfortunately, the homeowner and the landlord is not presumed the residents, and that's what causes this. So because a tenant is always presumed the resident, that's why they have more rights.
Flash Shelton, thank you so much for being here. And it's crazy to me because I think about this, how the police go there, they show a fake lease, and all of a sudden they have to go back to court and battle that aspect of it. They've learned all the tricks of the trade.
And from an economic perspective, does it really make you rethink about being a homeowner and renting out your apartment? That is sort of the economic angle. What do you do it? Is it worth it anymore?
this is just so stupid, because even if you don't have a lease, even if you don't fake a lease, if you just go squat in somebody's house, they say you can't kick the people out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, if we can solve one problem in this country, can we not solve the problem if you don't own it, you don't get to live there? Like, let the police go in and pull them out of there.
That should be a normal thing. Like, this entire scenario, this entire situation that they're talking about here should be a normal situation. People should not be able to come into your house, live there for free, not get kicked out because they have rights to live in your house. That just doesn't make any sense. The police should be able to come in, evict them, get them out, and you get your house back. It's that simple. You're paying for the mortgage.
That's the problem.
On the renter issue, though, I would say there are certain parameters, right? When you're renting something out, you do credit checks, you try to look for income verification to sort of assess the tenant that is coming into play. The scarier stories to me are the ones where a house is left empty and people literally just seize it and go in there.
Yeah.
And the police can't pull them out. Like, the police say, we can't pull out. How can that happen? How can a city not let the police pull them out?
It's crazy. How can that happen? It's crazy. How can that happen? Man, if the migrants start using these squatter rights, a lot of people are going to be upset. A lot of people are going to be upset. They already upset that they're living in laundromats and they live in tent shelters and stuff like that. If they start going into people's houses, people's vacant houses, all hell's going to break loose. All hell's going to break loose.